guess you could call this a safari of some kind, because we're lost in the Tokyo outback.
I'm on my way to meet the most successful artist of his generation. First impressions count.
Really lost.
Wow, close,
And really late.
At last we get there, just in time to catch the artist inspecting his new series of sculptures.
チンチンのとことかもうちょっとなんかこうあれだよね。ガツンと。なんかこうなんか色味のブロックがこう1、2、3、4ってこうなんか色目が全然こう変わっていくみたいなのがちょっとこの辺は特別こう欲しいですよね。
In the last 10 years, Takashi Murakami has established a worldwide reputation as a new kind of pop artist, inspired by the Japanese cartoon culture of manga and anime. He's had major exhibitions in London, Paris, Tokyo, LA and New York. But Murakami is also responsible for this, the world's most bootlegged handbag, which he designed for Louis Vuitton. This is the artist as a global brand in the age of information.
My image
Robot.
human being.
Really?
Yeah.
This may seem like a model from a Star Wars exhibition, but it's actually a sculpture destined for the world's most important museums and galleries. It looks to me like Takashi Murakami is making toys for the art world. But the art world says that's the point, and they've got lots of theories to prove it. I have an appointment with New York's most enthusiastic Takashi Murakami collector. There are no large-scale Murakamis in Japan because American collectors have snapped up every major work going.
Don't you just love seeing where collectors live? Hi. Hi. God. Wow, that's a lot of Murakami.
Murakami has become the art world's best investment. In the last 7 years, prices paid for his work have risen 20 times over. That's because they are highly theoretical. This may look like colourful wallpaper, but it's actually an installation about the concept of a hallway.
When you walk into a new space, what are you doing? You're looking, you're opening your eyes to see what you're going to see, to experience something new.
Yeah.
And in fact, what are you experiencing? You're getting thousands of eyeballs looking back at you.
That's very conceptual.
So it's an interesting play. The fact that each one of these paintings, you see the eyeballs start small, they get larger, 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 until one canvas is one entire eyeball.
In America, there are many theories about Murakami. One explains how he's the next chapter in pop art. First, there was Warhol. He took images from the mass media, reproduced them, enlarged them with cheap industrial processes, and made art. Next came Jeff Koons. He took kitsch decoration, fused it with pop culture, enlarged it, and made art. Now comes Murakami. He's taking motifs from Japanese cartoons, enlarging them, and making art.
It looked sort of childlike and friendly, but at the same time there was something repulsive about it. And although it was pink colored, it was a bit too fleshy to be just merely decorative.
Murakami's not the first person to turn cartoons into works of art. But Murakami is not copying comic strips, he's creating his own. He's invented a cast of new cartoon characters. There's Mr. Dob, like Mickey Mouse with sharper teeth, Kai Kai and Kiki, two cute animal-like creatures, and psychedelic mushrooms with eyes. Murakami's characters go off on adventures in art. Mr. Dob floats surrealistically across mysterious landscapes. He squeezes into the geometries of abstraction, or is splattered, Jackson Pollock style, across the picture surface. And everywhere, there are Murakami's happy, smiley flowers.
Oh my God! Wow.
So this is my kids' room, two out of three, and this is another type of wallpaper which he did, which is called a flower ball wallpaper. It's a happy thing.
These flowers are like the emoticons from text messages and emails. This is a new pop art based on the pop culture of children.
My 8-year-old daughter has told all of her friends in her class, and they are lined up to come have sleepovers here. And I just had one on Friday with 3 kids, and they loved it.
Really? Do you think you might have problems when they're 13 and 14? They might turn around to you and say, Daddy, I prefer minimalism.
Well, then that's their right.
The flowers remind me of the recent trend among fashion designers to produce a range for children. But in fact, they're symbols of another theory, this time the artist's own. Murakami designed the flowers as a critique of contemporary Japan. He says its culture is childish and empty. That made it sound like a great place to go. I've come to meet Takashi Murakami at his own art fair, if only I can find him. Business is brisk at the Murakami stand. There's Murakami Monopoly, Murakami Cuddly Toys, Murakami Postcards, Murakami Badges, Murakami Mouse Mats, Murakami Chocolate Crunch, and a garden's worth of Murakami flowers. To me, this looks remarkably like merchandising. But Murakami's Japanese gallerist is on hand to explain the theory behind it.
だって例えば絵ってさ、やっぱりその絵は単純に色と形でできるもんじゃない？すごいそれがすごいフォーマルな考え方なんだけど、やっぱりそのこの中でやっぱりここにキャラクターが配置されたり、ここにキャラクターが配置されたり、こういうところにいっぱい飛んでたりするでしょ。なんだここにもいっぱいいたりするけど、そういったものを使って、あとルイ・ヴィトンのロゴを使って、やっぱ絵を完成させるっていうのは彼にとってはすごい興味があることなんですね。
Murakami is also the godfather of an art movement. There are rows of stalls here with the work of young Japanese artists. They all share Murakami's dark vision of contemporary Japan. Its most obvious symptom is the Japanese obsession with manga and anime. The young artists all wanted to explain the ideas in their work to me.
Why did you make this? What's it about?
自分の結局こう成長過程にこの漫画っていうものが体内に入ってるんですよ。でこれは体の中にこういう漫画っていうものが入っているっていうことの表現なんですね。
Do you think that if Takashi Murakami had never become an artist, had never made art, you would have made this?
それはないです。それは作ってないでます。もう。
And these are photographs of a new work by Murakami. The artist has made this sculpture to promote his new handbags for Louis Vuitton, which will have a cherry motif. To me, it looks like an in-store display for designer accessories. But Murakami's American curator friends are in town to correct this impression.
This sort of chintzy, kitschy, over-the-top pop iconography, that's the stuff he takes. The fashion world, the world of glitz, the world of glamour, the consumerist aesthetic, that's all kind of dirty words. That becomes the stuff of his sculpture. He gets away with it because he makes sculptures that are absolutely refined in their kitschiness.
It might seem easy to criticize Murakami's art, but it's not. The art world has theories to explain everything. The influential curators who exhibit Murakami in America agreed with me that his art was more commercial than anything that had gone before. But they said that was a good thing.
People obviously kind of read someone like Warhol as a kind of critique of capitalism. And Takashi, what probably makes us kind of slightly uneasy is that it's sort of a celebration of global capitalism, of which he is not only a national but an international brand. Warhol didn't run art fairs, didn't own a corporation. He showed Campbell's soup cans. He wasn't actually designing the Campbell's soup cans.